So how many of you can actually say that you're organized and prepared for a home disaster? Too many of you just are not. So here is a couple tips that I want to share as part of Friday Fixes. I actually shot this video last week, but there was some glitch in the way that the file was exported and it was lost. So here is a recap from the one that I did last week. So this is really important, folks. We saw a lot of problems because of frozen pipes that happened this week. I had so many phone calls from people asking me for advice, sending me emails as well. So this is really important. You need to take a few minutes out of your weekend and be organized in understanding how your house functions. So many of us don't understand the basics of how the water comes into our home and where the shutoff valves are. And if you knew that, you are better equipped to deal with an emergency of, say, a busted pipe that has frozen and then thawed and there's a leak. So please take time to do this. What I want you to do is go find where the water main is to your house. I have told people this time and time again. Actually had the conversation with my own sister last weekend because she had frozen pipes and she rents an apartment, but she didn't know where the water main was. So I don't care if you own the house, rent the house, or you're a guest in somebody's house for weeks on end. You need to know where the water shutoff valve is, okay? So that's your homework. Secondly, if you are the homeowner, it's important that you tag the water main. Sometimes it can be confusing for people, especially if you own a property, maybe you have a shore home and you have guests and renters. You want to label the water main. Make up a tag and say, whole house shut off. This way, if there's an emergency and you're on the phone with them, you can describe it to them where to go and they see it immediately and can shut it down. So prevent disasters. Next, we want to move on to electricity. If you have an issue in your home with a bad outlet or a questionable outlet, your safety is a priority. So it's important that you have mapped out your house. I have said this multiple times in multiple videos, but here it is again because too many people have shared problems because they didn't do this. So I want you to map out your house. If you are able to get a blueprint plan of your house, that's awesome. But if you can't, you can draw simple little boxes saying which room is which. And then on the perimeter of each wall, draw an S, an O, or an F to indicate switches, outlets, and fixtures. And then grab a buddy, grab your cell phone. Someone go into the basement and turn on and off breakers, while the other one is upstairs seeing what's turning off. This way, you can mark the panel at your circuit breaker. So you know that breaker number 5 does 2 outlets in your kitchen. It does 1 in the hallway. It does 1 up in the bedroom. So if you ever have to shut off power, you can do so quickly, safely, and not having to shut down the whole house. So please take time to do that. You can very easily make your own map. My husband did this for us years ago. I laughed at him because he's an engineer and I was like, this is silly. Can I tell you? Okay, he was right. My husband was right, let it be known. This was a valuable project and a good investment of our time. So please make sure that you're doing all of these little things to keep your house safe. The last tip is to make sure that your homeowner's insurance policy is not just in a file drawer in your house, God forbid there be a fire, but that you have scanned or taken a photo of the cover page of your policy with your agent's number, his name, your policy number, and that you have stored that in a Google Drive or somewhere that's not just on a desktop. Perhaps you email it to yourself. This way, if the poop hits the fan, you know exactly who to call, what the numbers are, and it just makes the whole process of filing for a claim that much easier. So again, be organized and prepared.